If you think shipping delays are just a minor inconvenience that won't count against your Poshmark account, you could be dangerously close to suspension, and most sellers have absolutely no idea. This is because the platform's policies have shifted, catching even veteran sellers off guard. What is $1 is our new narrator, here to break down key Poshmark updates clearly and efficiently. In a significant but unannounced move, Poshmark has quietly changed its rules regarding order cancellations. This change is now actively punishing sellers for shipping delays that ultimately end in cancellation, even when the delay is outside of the seller's direct control. The company now appears to be classifying certain transit delay cancellations as seller fault cancellations, a critical distinction that carries heavy penalties. This reclassification can quickly push a seller over a strict and often undisclosed cancellation limit. When that threshold is crossed, Poshmark can restrict your listings or even fully suspend your seller's account, effectively shutting down your business on the platform. What's most alarming is that this new enforcement began without any clear, formal announcement to the seller community. As a result, many sellers have reported being completely blindsided by these sudden and severe penalties. They logged into their accounts one day only to find their ability to sell had been drastically limited. They had received no prior warning, no email, and no clear explanation for this drastic measure, leaving them confused and frustrated. This is a major departure from how things used to work. For a long time, Poshmark operated on a simple, well-understood principle. With few exceptions, most sales on the platform were considered final. Once an item was delivered, buyers were given a standard 3-day window to inspect their purchase. During that specific window, buyers could open a case to report a problem or claim the item was not as described in the listing. If Poshmark's team reviewed the case and approved the return, the process was handled through the platform. Sellers generally saw that as a normal part of doing business. For years, Poshmark sellers operated under a clear set of rules, but now, the ground has shifted beneath their feet. An order delayed in transit, then canceled by the buyer, may now be logged as a seller fault cancellation. This isn't just a semantic difference, it's a significant, damaging change that directly impacts a seller's standing. Sellers are understandably anxious. Any shipping delay, even one completely out of their control, could mean a penalty against their account. The line between carrier-caused delays and a seller-initiated cancellation is now dangerously blurred. New policy language says sellers must fulfill sales once purchased, a seemingly straightforward directive. However, that stronger wording is being used to justify strict automated enforcement. Sellers are left to wonder what counts as failure to fulfill, especially when carrier delays or inconsistent tracking scans are common, everyday problems. To make matters worse, official communication was lacking. Sellers didn't learn about this critical shift from a blog post or an email. They learned from other sellers. Social media and reseller forums exploded with stories of sudden account restrictions. The influencer Timeless Fa Shop amplified the issue, sharing reports from sellers that customer service never replied to their urgent inquiries. Some desperate sellers opened a new account to continue their business. That, too, was quickly restricted, without any communication. Bizarrely, scam tags urged users to verify via external link, likely phishing, not official. The chaos led some to even wonder if Poshmark's platform was hijacked. Accounts were restricted for cancellations sellers didn't realize they had, and many appeals got no response, leaving them in limbo. Veteran sellers with strong track records are hit hardest. Their livelihoods threatened overnight while newer sellers seem to benefit, a deeply unfair and frustrating reality for the platform's most loyal users. To protect the buyer experience, Poshmark enforces a strict and often controversial rule about seller cancellations, known as the 3% cancellation rule. It sets a firm ceiling on how many sales a seller can cancel without facing penalties. If a seller cancels more than 3% of their orders within a rolling 90-day period, their account may face serious restrictions. That rolling window means your performance from 3 months ago still affects you today. For many sellers, this threshold feels incredibly low. Even a few cancellations can put a seller at risk, especially those with low sales volume, where a single cancellation has a much larger statistical impact. For example, a seller with 100 orders in 90 days can be penalized for just 4 canceled orders, which can easily happen from transit delays alone. This narrow margin creates constant pressure to be perfect. Officially, Poshmark states that buyer-requested cancellations and cancellations due to bundle-related issues are excluded from this calculation. In theory, those shouldn't count against you. However, many sellers report that shipping carrier delays, which are entirely out of their control, are incorrectly inflating their cancellation rates. This discrepancy between stated policy and what sellers experience is the heart of the problem. Exceed that 3% threshold, and crucial features and search visibility can be restricted, effectively hiding your closet from buyers. In more serious or repeated cases, account suspension cuts off income entirely. Making matters worse is another policy: excessive listing removal. It went into effect in May 2025. Removing listings under 60 days can trigger penalties. Marking items not for sale in excess can also lead to restriction. The goal: keep the marketplace vibrant. But it directly conflicts with real inventory needs. Sellers often cross-post to eBay, Mercari, and Depop. Items can be damaged in storage or discovered flawed after listing. The responsible move is to take it down immediately, yet that can be penalized. Imagine a new dress is listed, a hidden stain appears after a week. Removing it can trigger removal penalties. Leave it up, it might sell and get returned. That shipping delay cancellation counts as a cancellation. The trap tightens. Beat. Cross-posting is standard and smart. Recent changes make it risky. The combination creates a perfect storm. Sell on eBay, then scramble to remove on Poshmark. Delete fast and risk removal penalties, or wait and risk cancellations. Either path can push you toward 3%. Worse, some returns aren't the seller's fault at all. Policy protects buyers, but it can be abused. Buyers may change their mind, claim poor fit, or wear then return. Some allege inauthenticity without evidence, forcing sellers to defend. Others may damage an item and claim it arrived that way. Approved returns already cost sellers the sale and shipping. Now transit delay cancellations can also add a cancellation strike, punishing sellers for carrier issues. In this climate, meticulous records are essential. Take detailed photos before shipping, record short videos from all angles, capture all flaws and the tags, film the packaging process, save all buyer communication. If cross-posting, remove listings immediately after a sale elsewhere. Some use "not for sale" before deletion, but it counts as a deletion and can still trigger penalties. Be mindful of the 60-day rule when relisting. Avoid mass deletions under 2 months old. Tighten inventory control to prevent automated flags. Respond fast and professionally to return cases. Present clear, concise evidence. Reference your listing and pre-ship photos. Poshmark is at a critical juncture. Issue a clear public statement in plain language. Use official channels, not rumor mills. Decouple transit delay cancellations from seller fault metrics. Do not penalize sellers for carrier delays that lead to cancellation, especially amid suspected abuse. Refine return review to block bad faith claims. Apply the 3% threshold only to seller-at-fault cancellations, like changed mind or failure to ship. Reform or abolish excessive listing removal. Add a penalty-free, sold elsewhere option. Support accurate multi-platform inventory. Posh Preview is a start, but actions must follow. Listen and make tangible changes. Fair policies, clear communication, consistent enforcement. To avoid suspension, keep cancellations under 3%, ship promptly, document items and messages, remove sold elsewhere fast, appeal with evidence. Helpful? Hit subscribe, share your Poshmark story, order volume, delay type, and appeal result. I read every comment as it comes in. Thank you for listening.